Okay, so just bear with me, everyone, for a few minutes here. I'm just trying to get everything set up of all streams and stuff. So let me see, where are we? Um, I'm just setting it up on TikTok as well here. So for, using AI for online. Okay, so we're hopefully 100% live. I'll have to minimize a few things here to make sure we're working right. I'm trying to keep chats going properly. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, and again, hopefully this covers everything and everything is working the way we want. Uh, if you're new here, just type one or two, whatever, one into the comments if you're I can hear the audio is okay. I need to make sure that that's working properly for us and making sure that pretty much stream is actually working everywhere. So what I want to do in today's, I suppose, live is showcase a bit more of how we can actually use AI, a real life example in a business. I see a lot of people that do the same thing online. They talk about how AI can be used. You can use it this way, this or the other way. But what ends up happening is you don't actually see, I suppose, realistically how it's being used. So bear with me again. I'm all over the place here with buttons and tabs. Um, so what's happening with most of the cases here, and I have two screens if anyone's wondering why I'm looking over here. What happens with most people is they don't use it the correct way and pretty much you don't realize how it can actually help on a daily basis. So what we've done here, we've set up a fake business, clothing business, and we're going to go through the entire process of how I would use AI if I was running, for an example, a clothing business. But again, you don't need to be a coding expert. You don't need to be a pro at all this. It's simple enough to kind of get set up. What I'll do is pull some of the images from ChatGPT again, just to kind of showcase pretty much how you would actually do this. So let's crack on. The first things first, this is the business we made up. Meet Bloom and Tread, made up online women's fashion shop. We use the same shop for this example, pretty much just to keep everything streamlined, keep everything up and running, and so we can kind of have some, I suppose, connection to it. Now, one of the key reasons I do it like this is simple and straightforward. Is makes things much easier to put together, tie them together. I'm not using just AI for the simple, quirky fixes that everyone talks about. We're using AI to actually make a difference in our business and pretty much streamline things. And again, you don't need to be a pro at this. You don't need to know about AI. You don't need to understand code and things like that. So everyday outfits, occasion wear, seasonal collections, accessories. Again, you get the gist of pretty much what it is, what the business is about. If you're watching this, you're from that industry yourself, you know exactly what it's all about. We then pretty much go to area one is building the digital store. This is probably the biggest area of where AI steps in here and what it can do. If you're watching this on TikTok, you're new to it, make sure you follow. On YouTube, if you happen to see it, make sure you follow. What we're going to do now is focus on this very simple process of how we're going to build a website. Now, the key thing here is that I'm not going to bore you all by going through the entire process of actually building the full website. Just follow my channel. I've talked about this, how you can actually build websites and stuff like that using AI. But I'm going to generate the images to kind of hopefully help you get a clearer picture of how it's done. But as I said, it's a longer prompt is needed to build your website. But once you get there, you're pretty much, it's 90% of the way. So over here in ChatGPT, I have it already to chat ready, and all I'm going to do is just get it to create some of the images while we're kind of working away here. You can see up in the top there, I have a bit of information saying, just don't hold anything here in memory. This is all my own chat, I suppose, is the key thing. And just trying to welcome a few people that are joining here. So building the digital store is easy with AI. AI writes the words, makes up your entire shop. Make it feel trustworthy, so you're not staring at pretty much empty pages. The old way of doing this was most people had to turn around and pretty much create everything from scratch. So what ends up happening is you go along, you're trying to create your web page, your about page, the FAQ, the policies, things like that. AI can do a lot of this extra heavy lifting for us now. So a simple enough homepage copy, headline, intro, you know yourself the way it's done. It's going to create everything from the shop front, and AI is going to do that for you. Again, idea here is we're going to get a digital, I suppose, presence, a digital footprint built out, and we're going to do this, I suppose, quickly with AI. So if we go over here, you can see it's pretty much generating the image. And this is, remembering, a very simple prompt that I've given it. Now, obviously, this is where the context of having the brand name built into it is going to make the difference for us. But one of the key reasons for this is, as I said, it just makes showcasing the information so much quicker. And what I'm going to do here is, hopefully, if I'm on TikTok, yeah. So this is going to be a massive advantage for what we're wanting to do. And if we jump back here, you can see here is the very first image created. Now, Bloom and Tread, this is pretty much what would generate from the website if you're pretty much running the prompts. So as I said, here as a prompt, I would give it a longer prompt. Obviously, it's the HTML website. You want it mobile optimized, blah, blah, blah. You get the gist of what it's doing. Otherwise, you can just give this image to Claude. You can give it to Google Gemini and pretty much get it to build out its website, your website for you. So you can see, look, we have Bloom and Tread. As I said, perfect. New in, gives us all the links above. Style made simple for every day and every occasion. Now, the key thing to remember from this is the first stage, and this is where we tie AI marketing all in together. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow along. I'm trying to build it up, trying to show people how AI can be used in real life basis, and this is a prime example. So again, we've set the scene. The business has no online presence. A lot of small businesses in Ireland especially don't have this. They barely have a social account, let alone a website still. And now, as I said, we're building this out for them, and we're building it in such a way that's going to make a massive difference. So it's given us everything we need here. So we have shop arrivals, we have why shop with us information, we have our basket, we have all this stuff done. You can do this through the likes of, say, Shopify or maybe WordPress. If you're doing it through Shopify, you'll probably be able to use their templates, but you can also upload your own style, your own brand, and your own, I suppose, website. And again, this gives you so much more freedom and creative control, I suppose, from using this method. So with that, we can go on to the kind of next stage. Now, as I said, we have the basis of our website, I suppose, built in terms of here. This is, I suppose, phase one is getting the key part of it. If we move on to area two is understanding the customer. This is the next, I suppose, where marketing steps in here a little bit. You don't want to just create a website and slap it up there and hope for the best. You want to understand who your ideal customer is. Because other than that, if you don't have your ideal customer, again, you're going to hit massive roadblocks straight away with it. So what you want to do here is, this is another very generic prompt here. Now, when I show you these prompts, the idea here is just to give you a brief, I suppose, snippet of how it works, a key information. Again, I have a community that goes through this AI and marketing. If you're interested in joining that, there's links, should be hopefully somewhere. If not, just let me know in the comments and I'll try and see if I can post them in. But the idea of a persona is simple and straightforward. Who she is, simple, clear persona of the person, what she wants, the outcome, not just the dress, what she searches, again, the words she actually types, and what stops her. Now, once you can understand here exactly what stops people from buying, like so this, doubts, sizing, fear, price, these are individual things that you can actually generate with AI for leads. A lead magnet is a way to get people in the door, get their email, and potentially target them with email campaigns down the road. Now, most people, most businesses don't even do this. So what ends up happening is you create your website, you pretty much put it up online, and you don't think of the bigger picture. So understanding your customer is going to make it so much easier for yourself to actually target them, create content with them in mind. A lot of us create content with ourselves in mind. We create it because we like it. And again, at the end of the day, we're not advertising to ourselves. We're not promoting ourselves. We're trying to promote other people, or you're trying to promote to the other people, to customers. So this is the key thing. So once we understand this, all I've done is I'm going to grab this, again, simple prompt. Again, I have another chat open here, and I just paste it into ChatGPT. Now, with AI and AI agents, this becomes a bit more automated. This becomes a bit more gathering information from competition. You can do competitor analysis, things like that. And this is where we really start to ramp up our marketing, and obviously how AI is going to help us do this. So just looking at some of the comments here. If you're on TikTok, just let me know if this is all working right. If you're on what is the other platform on YouTube, let me know again if you can see this. This is the big one. See it and hear it, obviously. You know, if you can't see it or hear it, it's not worth a damn to anyone. Yeah, so now we're at the stage here where we've built our customer, we've built up our persona. So as you can see here, this was the prompt, and this is pretty much our ideal customer one. The busy working mum, who she is, a woman in her 30s, 40s, juggling work, family, school runs, and social plans. She wants to look put together without spending hours shopping. Again, an opportunity straight away there I can see of a AI lead magnet to help dress, find your ideal clothing, things like that. And again, ChatGPT actually have something built in here that allows you to kind of get a screenshot, a picture of yourself, and from there you can kind of get a complete breakdown model of your version of yourself, what she wants, what stops her buying, and offer that would attract her. Complete outfit bundles with 10% off, showing the full look style together. Again, massive opportunity here, I think, which is a big thing. It helps people massively build this out, and that's one of the key things. Sorry, no, I muted that by accident. So we go into number 2 here, which is obviously we have the trend-loving shopper, who she is, a woman in her 20s or early 30s who enjoys fashion, follows trends on Instagram, TikTok, and likes having new outfits for nights out, holidays, and events. And again, you can see very quickly here it's given us 3 individual personas. Now our content already is going to start taking a little bit of shape to see what's happening. So if we're creating content and it doesn't help here find your fit, again, this is going to be a major problem. So if you can't help with this is going to be the struggling point. We go on to the next section, then is a new in Friday drop. Again, if you can't push this, again, it's going to become a major problem here. And this is where things will struggle if your kind of content is completely the opposite of what you're doing. Again, look, if you're watching this, please just share it if you can. Let's see, can I share it? I think I'm not sure. But give me a second there now, everyone. We're just seeing, can I get this set up? Just trying to share it around just so we can get it out there a bit more. And again, a lot of this is just testing to see does it work and how it actually works, I suppose, 100% for me. That's where we gone to. Next is, right, we have our, as I said, demo personas built out. So you can see here pretty much all our personas are done and dusted. Everything is ready from this point of view. We've started the entire building process in terms of creating a website, creating our entire, I suppose, digital footprint here. From this, once we create this digital footprint, as I said, it's going to allow us to expand. It's going to allow us to streamline our content, streamline our sales, persona building. Everything becomes much easier for us to create. So our next step, now that we've actually, I suppose, generated our personas, key lesson is you make sure every piece of content is targeting what's the problem here. Once it's targeting the actual problem, this is what's going to make the big difference for you. And as you can see, you can start to generate, you know, hundreds of pieces of content that's going to target people like this that are looking for clothes, whatever it is. So our next stage then, as we move on to area 3, is uploading and positioning products. Now, this is probably one of the most, I suppose, powerful features that AI can do. So we can then get AI and get skills, everything involved here, to start doing this automatically for us. So if you create a new product, most websites, when they create products, they have to manually upload. What ends up happening is you just upload the very basic things. So let's say it's a brand new top or jumper or something like that, a dress, whatever. You upload that, you have to turn around, you have to sell, you more than likely upload it and you just say dress black, blue, whatever the color is, and that's it. You want AI to start creating SEO descriptions for you that's going to get traffic. You want content that's going to be found in social media. You want content that's going to come up in Google search, AI search. Once you start doing that, that's where the game changes for everyone. Now, again, we're just going to use again over here the demo version here, and again, just paste the same similar prompt here. Now, if I was structuring this out through Claude and AI agents, what I would do here is I'd have it set up that it's going to target local keywords, local SEO descriptions. This is going to get me found in my local area first and foremost, and then you can go regional and national and push it on further and further. So you can see here, navy wrap dress, flattering everyday occasion dress, blah, blah, blah. SEO then its description is the navy wrap dress is a timeless wardrobe staple designed to flatter shape. So again, keywords here come in here, like so this. We also have wrap style fit. We have works beautiful again with heels. Again, all this is is perfect. We have it ideal for work events and dinner dates, and straight away, those are two keywords that are going to pop out when you're actually building out everything here. The reason is because once you have this, this is going to be seen in social media. Now, as I said, if I'm doing this myself, I'm going into more detail here. I want to sell the entire event. I want to sell this, like as I said, this dress, for example. So you write your descriptions for SEO, but you also write it for what the actual customer potentially is wanting to feel. They're looking to get a dress because they're wanting a night out or an event. So you sell that entire feeling to it. You know, stand out, be the eyes, center of attention, blah, blah, blah. Things like this. This is what's going to make the difference in what you're producing and the content in general. And once you can do that, that's what's going to, you know, make a major, major difference to how you put together, I suppose, and how everything stacks. Now, if you're manually writing and uploading these, this is going to drain you, simple and straightforward. So what ends up happening is you maybe do it once or twice for a few, and then that's it. So with this way, as I said, AI steps in. It does a lot of heavy lifting. We get the product titles, clear and search friendly. Nobody wants to look for some random code that's given to you for a product. Let's say a dress code is Z11, ZX2. No one is searching for that. So SEO is going to be done with product titles, SEO description. We're going to also then have what shoppers search for, how to wear it, wedding guests, work weekends, whatever. Again, this is massive because it's going to make a big difference to how we're doing it. Second there now, and we just make sure we're up and making sure we're still live on everything. Bear with me now for a second, everyone. I want to, yeah. So as I said, we have our product, a fit fabric care answer. Again, this is a key thing, all done and dusted for us, ready to go. Now, the next, I suppose, big thing we move on to here is product and images and campaign visuals. So with this in mind, what we're going to do is quickly get it to generate the image first. So again, we're over here. We're hoping it creates the image for us here. So this is going to create that image. So product image, campaign visuals. Again, what ends up happening for most people and most businesses is you have your image, you took your image in your shop, you more than likely just took out your camera, you took a picture of whatever the product's hanging on the rail and hanging on something like that. What you need to then start doing is start focusing on how you can create these in different styles, different variations, and different versions. Now, this is where AI can help, and I think this is probably another really powerful use case of it. So product images and campaign visuals. AI image tools turn a plain product into lifestyle shots, campaign visuals, no photo shoot needed. This is major. If you're a small business and you run your own, as I said, clothing store, you may not have the money to outsource to have someone to pretty much model your material or your clothing for you. This is a cheaper alternative, and realistically, once you do it right, consistency and product clothing and all that looks well. Now, what I would always obviously recommend is you make sure that you label it that it's an AI model, simple and straightforward. Don't try and be sneaky. Don't try and catch people out or trying to manipulate them in whatever way. You need to be clear about telling them, look, it's an AI model. this is what it is, so on. And again, what ends up happening is you give the customer a little bit more information. But what's better, again, you're giving them more information than what most other people are actually seeing or doing online. And I think once you do that, that's the big difference. So what we have here is the lifestyle shots, the outfit out in the world, again, realistic, outfit mock-ups, campaign images, and then social tiles. So you can see here, these are two different ones, and I think this pretty much generated something very similar. So over here, you can see again, basically the prompt was very simple. A model wearing a navy mid dress, and again, you can see two versions of it here. It doesn't look extreme. It's not 100% obviously you created, but also it would pass very quickly for likes of a model itself that would have been a model shoot. You see him in magazines, you see him on websites, and as I said, you created this yourself with your own product in the space of, what did it take us, 2 minutes to generate? And down here is the same principle. So on the left hand side here, you can see lifestyle shot again from the prompt. This is like literally one sentence of a prompt, and you're in a position that you already have a product photo there, showcasing your product in a different scenario, different setting. Visually, it's appealing because what happens is you can see customers can see themselves in that position, see them wearing it, and that's the big thing. Real life scenario, and again, as long as consistency stays the same is the key thing. So there is no point in putting this up as a product if, for example, the dress hasn't got this tie part in the middle of it. If it doesn't have that, don't try and manipulate again. Be honest, be real, be transparent with this, because this is going to be the key thing. We also then, on the right hand side, is campaign images. So you can see here the autumn collection, the edit. Now this is pretty much obviously a mock-up of a magazine cover. Now there's nothing to stop you from doing the exact same thing, but doing it for social media content. So you could put up your own information, put up your own social media, and what's going to happen then here is it's going to allow you to create social media content around topics, around, I suppose, products. It makes you stand out. It's much better than just randomly showing a picture of the dress hanging on the clothes rail and being like, new dress in stock, €30, that's it. Now you're adding more information. You're giving the customer a lot more options, and you're making them feel like they're involved, they're part of the journey, and you feel more connected to it. And I think this is area whatever 4 here is probably one of the main biggest use cases that you can actually use AI for in the day-to-day running of your business, and that's key. If we move on to area 5, I think it is, yeah, is generating traffic. So our next big step here is we want to start generating traffic. There is no point in having all this stuff up and running if it's a case we're not able to get traffic, people in the door, people into the online shop. So the first few ways we can do this is, again, using this AI as an example. So we go into this site and we just give it a very simple prompt. Now, bear in mind these prompts, as I said, they need more information. Again, the idea here is to showcase pretty much how it all comes together, how it works, and make life a little bit easier, I suppose, for everyone else if they're wanting to do it. I just want to, any questions? Just ask. So if you have any questions, just ask in the chat, and said I'm more than happy to jump into them at the end of it. And so, as I said, we now have blog and SEO articles. Why do we do blog and SEO articles on a clothing company, on a clothing website? Simple and straightforward. We want to get traffic. If you have a website, you're selling products like clothing, you need to be writing blog articles and pretty much targeting local, targeting terms and keywords that people actually search. As I said in the example above, looking for dress for a weekend away, a wedding coming up or something like that. That's what you need to be writing about. So wedding dresses, or not actual wedding seasons, things like that. AI search content is massive. So again, answer people, ask AI tools. So again, if you're writing articles and you have blog articles, you can focus on what are some of the common things people ask for. So what's the best colors to wear for a winter wedding if you're going to, or a summer wedding, whatever it is. You can then get ideas built For TikTok and Instagram, again, built for the feed, again, because AI now has information about our personas, understands what we're doing, what we're selling. Our content now is already going to be so much different than what most other people are doing. Google Business Posts, again, local visibility, again, tied to calendar for seasonal campaigns. And again, we have local angles. So again, you have an event in town, you write up about this, you showcase this, you pretty much talk about this. Once you do this, you're going to be come up in local. So if someone is searching for clothing or something locally, chances are you're going to come up because most of the competition are not going to be doing it. And you're already now head of your local area. And once you conquer that, you'll very quickly start to branch out and doing more sales online and things like that. And if we just go back over here, you can see here that this is a very, very simple article written. Now, would I recommend you just posting this onto a website? No, it needs to be changed. It needs to be given your touch, I suppose, because at the end of the day, you're the experienced one in this area, obviously clothing. So again, here, 5 occasion outfits under €60 or under €80 for an autumn wedding. Again, people will search things like that. Under €80 weddings, autumn weddings, whatever, things like that. Now you can see this is the keyword. Autumn wedding is there. You can see it again. Autumn weddings is up here. So this is something this article is trying to target. Now, I'm not saying this is going to get you ranked #1 for this term, but once you start building up and understanding how it all starts tying in together, everything that you do with your business ties in. Marketing is the key thing here. Social media ties into articles. Articles ties into social. This tie into your website, tie into every single thing. So what ends up happening is people start getting, like what I mentioned at the beginning of it, that digital footprint built up. Start understanding what your business is all about, and that's one of the main things you need to be doing. So as I said, the article is done. Let's say it's up on your website. People search for the likes of this. What ends up happening is your article comes up, they go along, they read the article, and they're like, okay, really good. Internal linking is linking to your products. So let's say, boom, is that navy dress. Lo and behold, this is what they land on. Then they turn around, it's kind of like, okay, I like this, I'll buy it. Now, as I said, images even tie into what you wrote. If it's the autumn, is this an autumny kind of scene? Is it a summery scene? Whatever. You get the gist of how things start to tie in. And this is what people need to be thinking about with AI instead of just randomly going along saying, here, write me a post on something. We move on to area 6 and creating social media content. So, again, we're going to go over here and pretty much get to do this part. So, creating social media content, the part I suppose most shop owners dread. AI gives you a month of ideas in minutes, so you never stare at a blank screen. This is one of the key things. So many people out there, and including myself here, we end up staring at blank screens, wondering what's actually happening, what's we talking about, what are we showcasing. So there's no more of that. Reels and hooks, what to film and how to open, words that fit the post, again, captions and stories. Carousels, again, can be styling tips, swipe posts, whatever. And again, we can get a full month of content planned out. The key thing with this is you can see already here now, again, very, very simple prompt is giving us some sort of information here. So once we have this, some sort of information, I suppose, the key thing is now, you're not sitting there wondering, oh God, what do I create today? Everything now is starting to get tied into one another. So autumn outfit, 3 outfits for when you have nothing to wear. You film 3 quick outfit changes using pieces from the shop. Start casual, then dressy, then weekend style. As I said, there's a massive opportunity straight away there. We have wedding guest look, one dress 3 ways, new arrivals rail. Again, giving us more content, more information to help obviously grow. As I said, all this was given from what? One simple sentence. Once you go into more detail and you start building the AI systems to help you here, this is what's going to make a massive change. So again, so all I'm doing is pretty much trying to get some people over on TikTok to make sure this is all working. Yeah, so if you can read this on the TikTok, tap the like button if you can, please and thanks. So make sure everything is actually working. Um, we go on to the next area then, which is area 7, creating offers and lead magnets. So the importance of lead magnets, I suppose, and our overall offers. Well, lead magnets is the first thing because we want to get them from social media to our page. We want to get their email address. This is the key thing. A lot of businesses don't even do that. So when we create the lead magnets, the idea here is we want to first order season. Discount offers can be a massive thing. A VIP list, early access for fans. We have style guides, again, free, useful, and on brand. This is massive because AI can do, I suppose, 70% of this as well. Outfit checklist, quizzes, email capture. Basically, our aim here is to capture emails. But most people, what they do is they fall on the tried and trusted, I suppose, versions of 10% off your first order. Or that's pretty much it. What you want to be doing is you want to be thinking outside the box here. So build an autumn wardrobe you can actually wear, tired of whatever. So this again is a style guide. How you can make this much better is by actually using AI, and I've built something similar like this before. I've used an AI to generate a style guide. So what ends up happening is it uploads an image of yourself. From there, then you can turn around and get it to pretty much give you a complete clothing outlook of what you can wear and what you can't wear. You can match your overall, I think, makeup, things like that to this clothing, and pretty much those lead magnets are the ones that are going to change how your business looks in comparison to others, and it's just a massive difference. Again, if you're new to the stream, new to the channel, slap the like button, follow along if you can. Just trying to grow it out as much as we can here. And lead magnets then can make a difference when you have an image of yourself. You can upload it. With that, it can turn around and generate obviously different styles, different designs for you. And this in itself is going to put your business, if you're locally and there's not much other local businesses around you that are online, this is going to make a massive difference to you. It's going to grow your socials. It's going to grow sales regardless. And you're going to get an email list for pretty much maybe an hour of time of working with AI. And this is what most people don't pay attention to, that they still think of AI as this tool that just writes posts for you every single day. Once you tie it into marketing, and once you understand how marketing and AI work together, this is going to just skyrocket everything you do in your business. Now that we have the emails up here, we then jump into area 8 and creating email campaigns. Again, this is massive. So area 8 for emails, a lot of business owners don't even capture emails. They don't bother waste their time doing it. Why, I don't understand, because this is an opportunity. Every time you have a campaign, you can boom, hit your email list. Once you hit your email list, you can probably already lock in sales. And if you have a good email strategy and a good approach to this, you can almost sell out all your products through your email list as it grows. And this is just such a powerful thing. So again, I'm just going to get it to give me a simple outline of an email list. For what was it? For 3 email welcome sequence to new subscribers, whatever. So first impressions done right. You sign up, you join, you want a good impression. So look, someone could sign up for a lead magnet and you turn around, welcome, delighted to have them part of the group or part of the community or following along. You could then offer them a little incentive. Hey, look, here's a 10% off. Don't tell anyone else, but these are just for you. You can turn around and straight away you already make them feel like they're special, something completely different. You can then showcase new arrivals, sale emails. We have abandoned cart option. So again, someone comes to the shop, leaves, doesn't actually buy anything. You can then turn around and say, look, email them saying, look, you left the cart empty, reactivated, give them a few euros off or something like that is a massive difference. And reward your best buyers with VIP emails. So if you can jump over here again, you can see, hey, lovely, we're so happy to have you here. Welcome to our little style corner. Goes on again, goes into another email sequence here. And again, we have another email sequence all done. And this is what I was talking about. Use the code welcome to 10% to get 10% off. And this in itself is then we're going to make a massive difference to what you're doing. puts you again further ahead of the competition. And again, that's just email. And number 9 down here is creating ads. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create 2 versions of this. We're going to get it to create an image. And what I need to do here is go back over there. I just want to see what happens here with this one. And again, over here. So again, what we want to do, creating ads. When you're ready to spend, AI writes the ads and gives you variations to test. If you're not testing your ads, you're pretty much you're losing money because you don't really know what's working. So hooks, you have primary text, headlines, image ads. Now, one thing that I would recommend if you're running ads, and even if you only take this, is run ads, but run variations of the same ad. So if you're running an ad, let's pick the dress for an example here. So you have the heading, beautiful blue dress. And you decide, right, I want to test this. So what you change is just the heading. Keep the image the same. Beautiful blue dress. Gorgeous blue dress. Ideal dress for wedding. Something like that. What ends up happening is once you test this, you're going to find one of these is going to do better than the other. So as soon as you have that one, then you can move on to the next element you want to change. So instead of changing the heading now, you change the subheading. You change the description. You change one thing every single time. You need to know that what has worked and what hasn't worked. I see so many people, what they do is they turn around, they basically run ads. They might run them. Probably the worst thing you can actually do is run that boost, especially on Instagram, boost my posts, because you're getting nothing back. It's literally just doing that. You're just throwing money in to get it randomly out there. So when you know what's working in terms of ads, you're going to understand exactly where to put your money. So you'll get to a stage, maybe after a couple of weeks, you'll have one ad that's absolutely just a banger. So this heading is perfect, image is perfect, caption is perfect, all from testing. Test with small amounts and then put your larger amount into an ad that you know is already converting. Once you know that it's converting, it just makes life so much easier. And as I said, just saves a small fortune along the way. And where else do we go back here? So this is after creating over here our ad variations. So you can see here, again, our ad variations. So again, autumn outfits that make getting dressed easier. Refresh your wardrobe with easy autumn pieces you'll actually wear. Again, headline. You can see image model, a model wearing a cozy knit mid skirt, I think it was. So what I'll do is see. So here's our ad variation. I don't even need to do much more to it. And if we open up this, hopefully you can see this okay on everything. So your go-to autumn outfits just dropped. You can see primary text. You can see headline. You can see, let's see, comments. What's another language? Let's see. Right, so what you see here is 3 Facebook ad variations. Don't agree with that at all, Bloomberry. If no one will be buying your ads if they're AI created, I've already seen it that it works. A lot of people still have this concept of AI, and you're going to have people who are for it, you're going to have people who are against it, and that's the key thing. So again, you have three different variations of styles of ads. You have obviously testing your hook. You can test your primary text your headline, test your image idea. Again, this could be just a variation again of the product, the clothing, the whole lot. So you can see seasonal refresh here again, which is there. What else have we got? We have occasional dressing again, which is perfect. And as I said, we got to a point now where we have our ads created. Everything is done and dusted. We're good to go. Ads are done, and you're testing them. Now again, look, if it's a case, test your AI created ad, but again, test it with the products. And again, the key thing here is it's not a case of it's frowned upon to use AI. It's frowned upon to use AI if you don't clearly state that it's an AI model, or make it aware in your policy that you use AI models to generate clothing, imaging, things like that. That's the difference, and that's one of the key things. Area number 10 down here then is reviewing data and improving. So this is probably key thing here is it's not just AI is not just making things for us. It's you need to understand what's working, what's not working. So if it's a case you use AI for a lot of your work and you generate a lot of material. Let's say sales, stuff like that. You can use AI to do a lot of that, digging through websites, traffic, understanding what's actually happening in the background. So a lot of people have, I suppose, Excel sheets with probably hundreds of bits of information on it with sales, trending products, things like that. But what you'll be able to take from that is pretty much a list of information, pretty much that can help you understand what's working and what's not. So, when's your best month in sales? What's your worst month in sales? So again, this prompt here is my sales data for the last 3 months. Again, you just paste it in. Tell me the three best selling products, slowest month, things like that. Once you have this information, you can then refine it. So let's say the month of May is one of your worst months for product sales. Now you can run a campaign up to the month of May to try and see can we increase and improve that month. Let's say Christmas is your best month. Now you can start a Christmas campaign knowing that this is your best month. Now you can maybe push a little bit of offers, discounts into there. Idea here is we're trying to get all our content, we're trying to have everything working for us to help the business grow. And I think that's one of the key things. Website traffic is the same thing, where visitors come from. Once you can understand where your visitors are coming from, you can start again targeting your ads. It comes up here. If most of my visitors are coming from Ireland, maybe now as I target all my ads towards Irish people, if it's the case my ads are coming from the US and or my traffic's coming from the US, but I don't necessarily ship to the US, is that something we can look to change? Can we implement this? It could turn out your market could be in a different country and you don't even realize it. You can actually analyze what social posts are doing. So are things working? Are they not working? Email results, again, you can check these out to see what's happening. And all this information gets put together, analyzed. AI is going to help you do that. And once you analyze it, then you're in a stage that it's going to make a massive difference. And you start having information you can work with. And pretty much putting it all together, and this is I suppose the last and final step of it all. So putting it together, your AI marketing team, each area we cover becomes a steady helper for you to go back to every week. 8 simple assistants, one for each job. Now, this removes this whole process of what I just showed you. Going into ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT to do one thing and leaving it. What you do is you build up an AI system that pretty much does all this, I suppose, semi-automatically for you. Your website creates page copy, creates landing page designs, your products or listings and SEO, Instagram is social content, your blog is for traffic and SEO, email, ads, data review, and offers lead magnets. And the key thing here is AI does not replace you. It helps you build a repeatable marketing system you can actually use every week. And I think this is so important. Don't think of AI as going to be the tool out there that's going to literally replace everything you do. And that's the most important thing. And that leads me on to the final thing. As I said, if you're interested in learning, I suppose, more about AI, you're interested in learning more about how you can use it in day-to-day in your business, then you can definitely look at the link in my pinned description on TikTok or YouTube or whatever you're watching is. It's going to help you build your own AI employee. It's going to help you integrate AI into similar to what we've done here as an example, and just overall streamline everything. So look, I'll leave it open for a few minutes. If anyone has any questions of what we just talked about, or in general you have any questions, just let me know. And where are we? So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. Yes, look, I'll leave it there for today, and hope everyone has a great time and great day.